Getting into the flow state while writing your story seems like a constant struggle for all writers. And so in this video, I'll be sharing some hacks which will instantly set the writing mood for you and also allow you to enjoy the process of storytelling to the fullest potential. Let's get started. Hack 1. Reset your brain. If you are constantly dealing with your everyday struggles in the back of your mind while you're trying to write, then it will be very difficult to get into the flow state for your story. Because to write creatively, you need some new mental energy and you need to let go of your old energies, all the old struggles and worries in your head. That's why I highly recommend doing a quick journaling session before you begin. I call this exercise resetting your brain. All you have to do is to pick up a blank page and dump all your worries and thoughts and anxieties and fears and everything that is going on in your mind in that specific moment onto the page. And this just doesn't mean writing your insecurities or fears or doing more like a self-care journaling. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about dumping your immediate thoughts from your head onto the paper. It could be as simple as, oh, I have to pick up grocery, or I have to pick up stuff from the dry cleaners, and things like that which cloud your brain, put them all on the paper. Or it could also be some fears or some anxieties. There's a deadline approaching at your workplace and you're worried about that. All of those things, just dump them onto this piece of paper and keep that paper aside and tell yourself that, hey, I will take care of all of those things. But for now, I need to, with this new clarity in my head, I need to work on my story. I know what you're thinking. If you start putting your worries on a piece of paper, you'll probably feel even more overwhelmed. But that's not the point of this exercise. Always remember that this exercise, resetting your brain, is not about trying to figure out the solutions of your problems. It's actually just about clearing the mental space you have so that you can use that mental energy for something more productive like your story. Once you do this exercise, you will be feeling light and breezy for at least 20 to 30 minutes. Now, of course, this is not about figuring out solutions, so you will still have your worries after maybe 20-30 minutes, but those 20-30 minutes are enough for you to get into the flow state for your story. Hack 2. Lock your phone and disconnect from distractions. Need I say anything more? Internet is the biggest distraction in our lives, and so I highly recommend switching off the Wi-Fi while you're sitting down to write your story and locking away your phone away from your side. I usually put my phone on mute and lock it in a drawer so that I cannot access it during that period. The pro tip here is to make sure that your phone is not in your sight. If you see it, you're more likely to pick it up. At this point of the video, if you are getting any value out of it, please like the video and consider subscribing to my channel. Here we talk all about writing compelling novels and creating rich, vivid experiences for your readers. Moving on, my next hack is to use visuals. We have already talked about how you're likely to pick up your phone if you see it. In the same way, if you surround yourself with visuals related to your story, then you will be able to easily immerse yourself in this fictional world that you are creating for yourself, your story, and your readers. There are multiple ways to do it. You can create vision boards for your stories. You can make vision boards for each chapter, or you can make aesthetic boards for each of your characters. And then you can print these out and stick them on the wall like posters. Or you can also set these as wallpaper on your laptop. My favorite way is to find high quality images related to my story on the internet and then set those images as background of my Scrivener project. If you don't know what Scrivener is, it's actually a writing software that I use and highly recommend. It is amazing. I'm not sponsored by them, but I would love to be sponsored by them because I love using Scrivener. My favorite feature in Scrivener is this composition mode where you can go in full screen writing mode and have a customizable background, picture, and even a theme related to your story, and you can keep changing that as you go further along in your story, writing different scenes and different chapters or maybe different perspectives. One more interesting way to use visuals for your story is to hire an artist to make character portraits and landscapes for your novel. I did this for my debut novel, The Missing City, which is a mythical fantasy novel, and I had this artist create these stunning character portraits for all of my characters, and then I also use them for marketing the way I'm using them in this video. So that's another way to use visuals to your advantage. Hack 4. Use music. A lot of writers love creating playlists for their stories or specific characters and then love listening to them while they're writing in that specific chapter or that specific scene or character. But I would say that not every writer can write with a song playing in their head. Personally, I can't write with songs because if I have a song playing while I'm writing, I am more likely to focus on the lyrics of that song instead of the words that I'm supposed to be typing. Therefore, I personally prefer using instrumental music over songs. And it works really well for me because it does the job of getting me into the mood of writing that specific scene without distracting me with all those lyrics. And so I can still focus on the words and the scene on hand while getting into the zone of suspense or whichever theme that I'm focusing on for this instrumental playlist. Now, I know that for some of you, even instrumental music may feel distracting. Maybe you're someone who likes more of silences, and I used to be that person. And that's why I have this next tip for you, which is use ASMR sounds. If you haven't heard of ASMR before, it stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response Rooms. Don't let that term intimidate you because in simpler words, it only means immersive sounds and sights that are going to trick your mind into believing that you are in a completely different atmosphere. Now, don't confuse ASMR sounds with songs or music because it's not songs and music, and I won't be able to explain it until you actually go and listen or play an ASMR in the background while you're working. Just try it out, it's a big game changer. Because a good quality ASMR can really transport you into a mental new atmosphere, a different world, and you will be inside the story, the scene that you're so burning to write. The best part is that a lot of ASMR videos are available to watch for free on YouTube, and you don't have to do anything but to search for ASMR videos. You can think about any setting that you want to be in. Library sounds, cabin sounds, haunted mansion sounds, forest sounds, and so many different sounds, even indoor sounds like cafe sounds or Harry Potter sounds. Those are one of my favorites, you know. I love that feeling when the ASMR makes me feel that I'm in Gryffindor common room. Yes, they have those on YouTube. So all you need to do is to type in the setting that you are looking for, maybe forest ASMR. Just type that in the search bar and things will pop up. Actually, what I'll do is I will list out some of my most favorite ASMR in the description box. Check them out. And yes, before you come at me in the comments, let me clarify that yes, I told you to disconnect from Wi-Fi and now I'm telling you to go to YouTube. I'm not contradicting myself. All I'm saying that since ASMR videos are available on YouTube, I like to just download them to my laptop and play them in the background even when the Wi-Fi is switched off. Hack 6. Use the sense of smell. Now, I personally don't do a lot for the sense of smell, but I know that it works for a lot of other writers, just the way songs work for a lot of writers. So here are a list of few things that you can try when it comes to sense of smell. You can try lighting scented candles. That would work for a nice romantic story. Or you can try getting flowers which evoke the same flavor which you're trying to evoke in a specific scene. Another small way and more easier one is to use different perfumes or air fresheners. I know it sounds stupid, but I've heard of this actor who is really brilliant and who likes to change his perfume every time he's playing a new character. He says that it helps him get into the skin of this new character and leave his old character behind. So you can use that same technique as a writer, maybe when you're writing from different perspectives and you're trying to shift your focus from one character to the other. Maybe they have completely different scents and you spray that in the room whenever you're typing them. Hack 7. Create a writing ritual. Yes, you heard that right. I want you to create a special ritual for the story that you're writing. And here is why. In India, we have many religious and auspicious festivals, and for each festival, we have specific rituals associated with them. So for example, on one of our festivals called Holi, we play with colors. And so if anyone sees somebody playing with colors on any random day of the year, they're gonna immediately think of Holi. Or in Western countries, it is a ritual for the brides to wear white gowns. And hence, if you see a woman wearing a white gown randomly on the street on any random day, then you will probably automatically think about church weddings, because that's how strongly rituals are associated with that particular event. And therefore, you must realize that your mind is going to connect everything that you do while you're writing with the event, with the task of writing. That's why I want you to create a special ritual, something that you do only when you are writing. That way, when you do that ritual, when you do that thing, your mind will automatically know that, oh, now it's time to get into the flow state for writing. And this ritual doesn't have to be something big or fancy. It could be as simple as making a special lemonade or wearing a specific cap that you wear only when you're writing. I know it's super simple, but that's exactly why it's effective. If you want me to create a dedicated video on creating rituals for your writing and how I like to create my own rituals and routines for writing, then comment the phrase, "I want that rituals video." Hack 8. Change your environment. Sometimes changing your real physical location while you're writing can really help your creative brain. So try writing in places that you don't normally write in. For example, if you usually always tend to write at your desk in your cozy room, then maybe try going outside the house and writing in the park, or maybe writing near the beach, or writing in an area which you've never written before. Or if you're someone like me who really feels cold whenever I go outside and I feel uncomfortable and I feel that those uncomfortabilities, is that even a word? I feel that those uncomfortable feelings are not letting me write, then I prefer writing in indoor spaces that are not my house. For example, libraries and cafes and other places like these, which allow you to sit down in a space where you can just focus on the work at hand, the task at hand. Of course, make sure to choose these cafes really intentionally, because you wouldn't want a cafe where a lot of people are coming and talking and chatting. So find some peaceful places and try changing up the writing atmosphere. Maybe you'll get into the flow state sooner than you think. Hack 9. Write the scene you're most excited about. I know it's common sense to write your story in a chronological order so that they make sense. However, if you are struggling to get into the flow state, then I highly recommend jumping forward to the scene that you're most excited about. And once you do that, you will be surprised to know how easily words will start flowing outside your system because you're so excited about that scene, and you'll soon be in the flow state. And then later, once you're in the flow state, you can come back to the scenes that you are not that excited about, or the scenes that you were struggling with in the first place. And you'll be able to figure these out as well, because now you're pumped up on all that adrenaline. This is my favorite strategy and I use it all the time. Okay, now what if you've tried all of these hacks but you're still not feeling like writing? You're still not able to get into the mood of writing? Then I have the last and final tip for you, which is to choose discipline over motivation. This is for writers who want to be professional writers and not just hobby writers. If you are serious about your writing dream, then I urge you to choose discipline over motivation or inspiration or any kind of external factor. I like to call this self-motivation, which comes from within you. You need to have those internal reasons that you can always remind yourself of. Remind yourself why you love the story, why you want to write it, and why you want to be a writer in the first place. As Elizabeth Gilbert says in her book Big Magic, if you're not actively creating something, then you're probably actively destroying something. Another funny way to put it is how one of my teachers in my creative writing program put it in one of our classes. He said, you need to staple your ass to the chair and sit in front of the screen and give yourself no other distractions, no other choices until you get bored and you start writing just because you have no other option but to write. Let me know in the comments which of these hacks you found most helpful, and remember to subscribe to my channel so you can become a part of this amazing writing community that I'm trying to build on YouTube. Also, if you liked watching this video until this far, I'm sure that you will love watching this video next, so please check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and this is me, Srishti Rathour, signing off for this video, and I will see you next in this one right here. Bye!